Yeah, welcome to the BCM Podcast. Charles doesn't have a cool background, so I don't know why he's doing that. I'm your today's host, Brad. He's waving at nobody. I am Brad Swail, today's host. To my top left is Charles Blain. To my top right is Michael Searle. All of our Twitter handles are in our picture there, and they're going to be down in the description if you're just listening, but go follow us. We have an action-packed show.
Especially.
Huh?
Me especially.
Don't follow him. It's the worst. We were just talking off air about all of the breaking news. You say it's the Republican Party, Charles, but I don't think RFK Jr. is in the Republican Party, and I guess he's cheating on his wife is the rumor. And G-damn.
G-darn.
She's a dime piece.
Currently cheating?
His wife or Olivia?
I guess it's Olivia Newsy. Is the I think this is a picture of her. I'll share my screen really quick.
She's married to a reporter, I think, at Politico, if I'm not mistaken. She's also a reporter.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, I didn't see that picture. That not what her profile picture.
Charles understands. Anyhow, we got an action-packed show today. A lot to talk about. That included, we got the third or second, maybe a third Trump assassination attempt. Mark Robinson, candidate for North Carolina governor, Republican candidate for North Carolina governor, has an interesting lifestyle, let's say. And Fed's cut rate. We got Butch Ware. I don't even think you guys know who Butch Ware is, but Butch Ware is spitting facts.
I spent some time on the Butch Ware.
And some potpourri, of course. Epstein will be heard from again. Michael's going to talk to us about that. And Charles is going to tell us what the fuck a freak-off is. So... let's talk about the Trump assassination. Now, before we talk about that, actually, I just want to show something really quick because, Michael likes to talk about how slim he is, how good his calorie counting is working. And he sent me this picture that I'm going to pull up really quick of him just to show off his abs. Here's a picture of Michael. And how good the calorie counting is working. Doesn't that look good? Michael,
good
you're
job.
looking
Nice and slim.
Looking real good. How do I stop sharing that? Stop sharing. There we go. So that was actually the Trump assassination culprit.
Yep.
Allegedly. So he was golfing and the guy hung out in the bushes for 12 hours and took some shots at him. And it's an apparent assassination attempt and all sorts of stuff. Lots of people sort of questioning. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm kind of curious if is it gonna happen, guys? Do you think they're gonna get him one day?
Well, I hope not.
Yeah.
No one is suggesting, Charles, that I'm not saying I want them to. What are you talking about?
I said I hope not. That's all I said.
Yeah, but you're saying it like I think that it should. Or I don't think it should happen. I don't want the guy to die. I don't want an assassination attempt. That would be awful for him, his family, his supporters, for the country, naturally.
Well,
but there's a lot of attempts.
First, for all the misinformation detectors out there were no shots fired in the latest attempt or supposed attempt on Trump's life. I just want to correct the record there.
Are you talking about the second, this one, the golf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said they shot at him. They didn't. He didn't shoot at him.
They saw the rifle sticking out of the bushes, and they took some shots.
I'm sorry. There were no shots fired at all. I thought they shot at the guy. No.
Secret Service shot at the guy.
Okay, gotcha.
But there was also, and this is Alex Jones.
So we should probably just stop there then, because
I don't know if he's been right in the past, but he is saying that there may have been a third attempt.
Oh, the chemical stuff at the rally?
Yes. Breaking report indicates there may have been a third attempt on Trump's life. Approximately 20 patriots. That sounds like some op-ed there, but approximately 20 patriots who attended Trump's high-energy rally in Tucson are now reporting having to go to the ER immediately after the rally. They suffered from symptoms like blurry vision and swelling, serious concerning reactions that all came shortly after they entered. So I think the theory is that maybe there was some chemical exposure.
I think, well, there's been limited reporting by credible news outlets on this, but there has been some. But I would assume that at least for a chemical exposure, that should be able to be detected sooner, much sooner than, like, once it's there, right? You have dogs, you have machinery and different things like that, as opposed to a shot that could be fired from afar. I would assume that if you have chemicals on site.
Now, when you say, what did you say, reputable news sources?
Pardon?
Is that what you said? You said there's been very few reputable news sources that report on this?
Yes.
I'm curious, what's a rep? Is that like Houston Chronicle or Texas Tribune? Like, what is a reputable news source for you, Charles? I wonder.
City Journal.
City Journal.
City Journal, certainly.
I think Jacobin Magazine, maybe.
I'm sorry?
Jacobin Magazine, maybe.
I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're a Yimby and you don't know Jacobin Magazine. Shut up, commie. Go on.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
So, no. Are you really asking me what's a reputable news source or no?
Genuinely, like, what are you talking? Like, is it New York Times? Is it CNN? Is it Fox News?
Yes, I would not that they would have the answers, but that they would have reported that something happened. Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
That's interesting.
New York Times, regardless of if you agree with how they approach things, no one can argue that they are not a legitimate newspaper, right?
Oh, we can definitely
I'll
argue
that all day long.
No, I mean, but like there are things that they are not going to print without verification.
Yes, they absolutely will print things without verification.
I said there are things that they won't print without verification, like an attempted assassination of the president.
Normie. We could argue that all day long, but let's stick to the topic. I could go through a long list of things that the New York Times has printed that has turned out to be untrue.
Name one. Name one.
3 years of Russian interference.
Okay, something else.
Oh, fuck off.
That Russia blew up the Nord Stream pipeline.
Okay, something that has nothing to do with Russia.
Oh, okay. Jeez. Calm down.
That Iraq had WMDs.
We were all confused.
No. They are the paper of the establishment, and they print what they want them to print. But I will add to that, though. I haven't seen any reports from individuals. All I saw were the reports of the chemical attack from people like Alex Jones. Have you guys seen somebody say, I have been exposed to chemical agents?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll wait. I'll wait to see if that happens before I pass judgment on the third attempt on Trump's life. The second one, I mean, it seems like that guy was probably trying to shoot him. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like he was pointing a gun in Trump's general direction. And it seems like that's what was happening. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm wondering why all of a sudden all these people want to kill Trump. They could have wanted to kill him for the last 7 years and made an attempt on his life. Why are they all starting to happen right now?
Interesting question. Because he's winning?
I don't know.
Because people have just gone more sort of crazy about politics, and like politics has just totally overrun our lives. And this is the most important election of our lifetime, and our literal democracy is at stake.
Yeah. People got back from
because
summer break.
Like that.
People got back from summer break and they started doing their assassination plotting when they had the time and the kids were back at school or something, you know?
Yeah, you can't do that at Miami Beach. US is not a good place to plan something like that.
Yeah. Are they going to get him? I don't know. I hope
Well,
not.
I don't know. Yes, again, I hope not too. I know Charles thinks that he totally misunderstood that and like wanted to fucking go crazy on me for a second there, but yeah, I hope not too. I mean, but it seems like there's going to be some more. I don't think anybody would be surprised if they try to do it again. And I say they, and what I mean by they is, whoever. It doesn't have to be a specific shadowy organization. It could just be a lone gunman. It could be a crazy person, right?
Well, I think yes, it can, but it's hard to believe that a lone gunman, an individual crazy person, would have the ability. Third time, fourth time, fifth time to get as close to the president as some of these first individuals have. Like the first kid, still don't understand how that happened. Multiple laps in security, whatever. Say it happens
it was incompetence, obviously.
Well, okay, right. So I'm saying if you have incompetence on the first one, then you would assume that you build up, like that doesn't happen again. And certainly not 8 weeks later.
Yeah.
But then here, you can argue it didn't necessarily happen again. They caught him in advance, but he was close enough. What is going on, I think, is a great question to ask. And I don't know. I don't know how they're not better at this. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I see a lot of my favorite people out there suggesting that he's a CIA agent or he's a patsy or MK Ultra.
He's MLK.
He is MLK. MK Ultra, or they were in Ukraine together. I've seen a bunch of stuff, but where I'm at on it is like there are a bunch of questions that need to be answered before we can draw any conclusions about either of them. I think the first one reeks quite a bit more than the second one, but I don't really know what to conclude about the second one.
Will we ever get those answers, Michael?
There's a committee.
Oh,
so
they
no.
formed a committee?
So no.
Heck yeah. Hell yeah.
And Mike Johnson, who is, did Dave Smith call him this generation's Dick Cheney, is made the appointments for us to that committee.
And you're a fan of Mike Johnson, if I'm not mistaken.
Big time.
What?
Big time.
Yeah. Interesting. Weird. Anything else on the Trump assassination, or should we move on to Mark Robinson?
Let's move on to Mark
Robinson. Now they're really trying to get this guy, and I kind of read this. He's just a proud black man, right? Charles, would you agree with that?
I will not be offering comment.
That's interesting. I don't mean he made comments between 2008 and 2012 on a website called Nude Africa. Now, I've never been on Nude Africa, but it's an online black adult community sharing adult pictures and videos and discussion forums, and I guess maybe some fan written erotica, perhaps. And he made these comments between 2008 and 2012, and he made them under the username Mini Solder, MINISOLDR.
Do we know what that means?
I don't know what that means. I kind of read it as Mini Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But I don't know. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. I don't know how the kids do it nowadays. So he also, I mean, I don't know. This is all alleged, right? I don't know if it was actually him. He denies it, of course. But it also, I think it has his, I've read that it also listed his full name on his profile and his email address. So it seems kind of weird, but it's some interesting stuff. Let's see some things. He calls himself a black Nazi on this website, right?
Does he give any context to that?
Yeah, it did kind of. I can pull that up. Let's see. What does this say? I'll share my screen here. Bear with me for a second. It says, this is one of the posts from Mini Solder. Slavery is not bad. Some people need to be slaves. I wish they would bring slavery, in case you weren't very clear about what he was talking about, back. I would certainly buy a few. That's a comment that was made. This is, he also says, I'd take Hitler over any of the shit that's in Washington right now. Very martyr made. Right? That's a similar post to what you were talking about, Charles. That was his name, Daryl. What's his name? Martyr made? Daryl Cooper made when he said, it was the picture of Hitler in Paris, in the Paris opening Olympics, right? Daryl Cooper saying that the Hitler thing is much more preferable. And here is this person, Mini Solder, perhaps the candidate, saying I'd take Hitler over the shit that's in Washington right now. Yeah.
Well, sounds like this guy's an idiot, and this is not. I mean, an idiot's putting it lightly, to be completely honest. This is the problem with the party today in vetting candidates. How is this man lieutenant governor? How was that not discovered before he was placed on the ticket? I'm assuming North Carolina is one of the states where lieutenant governors are appointed or put on the ticket with the governor and not run separately, but I could be mistaken. I would assume had he had to run separately, this would have come out. I don't understand how we get to this. Like, what is wrong with this man, and what is wrong with anybody who's still standing beside him? Like, there's clearly still a campaign, and I don't know why there would be one.
Can I ask a question?
You may ask any question you'd like. I'd be happy to answer.
How did they get this information?
How did they get this information? I don't know.
Who got it?
Well, I mean, it was online publicly. I'm going to read one of his erotica posts in a little bit, and it's pretty spicy. But let's just watch the 5. They did a better job, I think, explaining sort of what's going on here. And
CNN broke the story.
Oh, well, then it's definitely true.
And what's a really interesting state in there? North Carolina, which is a big target for the Democrats. And we just found out an hour ago that the lieutenant governor there, Mark Robinson, who's running for governor,
Never heard of him.
who Donald Trump called Martin Luther King on steroids, posted on a porn forum called Nude Africa that he's a black Nazi, expressed support for reinstating slavery, and detailed his sexual arousal from memories of peeping on women in public gyms. And he still fantasizes about it. He also has an Ashley Madison account.
How dare you kink shame?
Good point.
That's a great reaction. So Josh Stein was likely to win that race anyway. If they get Mark Robinson to drop out, his name is still on the ballot. But this makes North Carolina even more in play for Democrats. And this, again, is evidence of the type of candidates that Donald Trump thinks are good for the country.
Now, I don't know. Did Donald Trump know about this? I don't know. But, you know, he called him the modern day MLK. And I don't know that this necessarily, we said MLK on steroids. Now, my understanding is that MLK was also had some proclivities with women. Did a lot of great work for civil rights, obviously. But maybe there is that comparison.
No, there's no comparison between him and MLK.
I'm talking about the proclivities.
Here's the thing. Did Trump know? I'm going to go out on a limb and say 99.9% no, he did not know about this. But there were other red flags regarding this individual before. There were other comments he made. I'm pretty sure he made a comment, I think it was last year or the year before, that women should not be able to vote, and other things like that. So there have been red flags. We have seen Trump often endorse less than stellar candidates. And also, I find it weird that Jesse Waters just said he didn't know him when Jesse Waters interviewed him a couple weeks ago. So kind of weird to say that. Very, very, very questionable individual, to say the least, and to say the most. He's a terrible person who probably should not be on the ballot in North Carolina, and proper vetting might have figured that out early on.
I have a few points on this thing. First, how do we know that this is true?
Well, he's waiting that it's not true, but I think there it seems to be, and again, this is all alleged. I don't know if it's true or not, but it seems to be this username is associated with him.
Okay. Where did the information come? Who got it? How do we know this is true? The timing of all this, all these people that are being leaked on with private information that was gotten somehow, seemed to be helping Trump win the election, correct? If this suppresses Republican turnout in North Carolina, it makes Kamala Harris have a better chance in North Carolina. The RFK stuff, which we'll probably talk about, they're trying to discredit him because he just endorsed Trump, and they've been doing this since he endorsed Trump. All of this is politically motivated, but I will say the type of people who want to be in Washington, D.C., this kind of behavior does not surprise me. This is like mild compared to some of the stuff that those creeps are doing in DC. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's true, but I don't want to jump to conclusions that it is, given the long history of false stories being put out in the midst of a presidential election that turned out to be, oh, whoops, not true.
Yeah.
So CNN says they were able to, they were made under a username that CNN was able to identify as Robinson by matching biographical details and shared email addresses between the two. However, he does deny it. I think where this comes from, because there were the other things we mentioned about Ashley Madison years ago, maybe 2 years ago, there was like a massive dump of Ashley Madison registrants. And ever since then, whenever someone gets on the political scene, I've often seen people search this thing to see if this database has those email addresses. Now, I don't know if that's how this happened, but I remember it being a big story about 2 years ago when hackers hacked into Ashley Madison.
Was that 2 years ago? I feel like that was like a decade ago.
I don't remember when it was, but I remember it being in recent memory somewhat. And they had this massive database of emails. Now, the other one that we mentioned before the show and Robinson both were allegedly emails that were at least 5, 6, 7, or the messages in this were at least 5, 6, 7 years old. So I don't know. That database is still out there. There's been tens of thousands of emails. And I think over the years, as people have kind of raised in prominence, others have looked at emails associated with them to see if they were in this database. So I'm assuming that's in part how this came to be, but I'm not sure.
This is his response video, and I hate to interrupt, but he denies it. But I just want y'all to watch this a couple minutes, and I want you to tell me how much you think he weighs.
Hey guys, Lieutenant Governor Robinson and your Republican nominee for governor as well, of course. Well, guys, the news media is at it again. My opponent is at it again. You all have seen the half-truths and outright lies of Josh Stein on these ads over and over again. And now a story leaked by him to CNN is appearing now. Let me reassure you, the things that you will see in that story, those are not the words of Mark Robinson.
That's what he says. Now, the reason why I ask how much you think he weighs, because it ties into something else. How much do you think he weighs?
He should start counting his calories.
Yeah, he should. I agree.
Oh, so fucking dumb.
I don't think he was wearing an Apple Watch there either, actually. I would say probably like 320, 330. I don't know how. Well, actually, I don't know how tall he is. So I don't know.
Just stop it. Stop making it complicated. 320. Go on, Michael.
How tall is he?
Who cares, guys?
Well, that matters.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just go with Charles is 3. What? Go ahead.
Okay, I don't know. 280. 280.
Okay. So here it seems like Mini Solder is also into body slimmers. There's a body slimmer, and look at the weight: 315 to 320. Great body. Out of the package, it looks doubtful it'll fit, but it fits perfectly, and it's super easy to put on and take off. Great product. I'm currently ordering more, and that's what it is. I don't know what to make of that, but boy howdy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. I think he's a big guy. I don't know. Is he going to wear a body slimmer? He's a politician. The way you look, I don't know.
I mean, probably to look a little more put together. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh boy. I mean, guys, I could read one of the posts by Mini Solder, but it's a little much. I would be embarrassed to read it, but I will if y'all want me to.
No, it's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, read it.
Okay. Just for those that are a little bit squeamish.
You know he wanted to.
Just for those that are a little bit squeamish, you know, fast forward a minute or two because it gets
spit it out
wild. Here it is. I'm back. We took a break for a little bit, but picked back up where we left off. But I hooked up with my wife's sister, and boy, was it good. That pussy is still creamy. That asshole is still slick. Shiny.
I don't know that.
and pissy smelling.
Okay. Creamy.
Oh god.
You gonna get through,
the
whole thing?
I can't. I fucked her good, and after my dick was coated with her cream and we 69. Oh boy. Ooh. Oh boy.
Okay.
You guys can read the rest. Just pause it and read it. That was Mini Soldier, everybody. Your next governor for North Carolina.
Oh Lord.
Well, he's gonna lose that race. He was already down pretty significantly, so this probably doesn't help him.
Well, I know some people that live in North Carolina, and I think they're big fans of him. But then again, they're also pretty conservative. So, anyhow, do we? Are we done with that one?
Yeah, we probably beat that one to death.
Okay, let's do some potpourri. And I just want you guys to know that I've had this tab open since the last time I hosted. So going on, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Weird. Who keeps tabs open that long?
Michael Searle. And it's literal potpourri. Will wiping your anus with toilet paper disrupt your hormones? It's an interesting question. Meet Paul Saladino, also known as Carnivore MD, who recently posted a video titled "Here's How I Poop" for his 1.3 million Instagram followers. In the post and the video, he urges his followers not to use toilet paper because it's filled with hormone-disrupting compounds. He says he avoids toilet paper in order to protect his hormonal health. We can open the video. And
so, obviously, I sit here but I actually don't use toilet paper. This is just for the guests. I have a bidet on this toilet because I learned that toilet paper, paper towels, all kinds of paper products that we use contain BPA and other xenoestrogens. And I don't want to rub my butt with that. So I just use a bidet and I rinse my butt with that when I poop. So that's how I poop. But be aware that paper towels, printer paper, toilet paper, tampons, a lot of these paper products contain BPA and other xenoestrogens that can be absorbed into your body. And we don't need more of those. We have tons of xenoestrogens in our environment, and I'm trying to limit that as much as possible to protect my hormonal health.
Okay.
A literal potpourri, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
So not only is the water turning the frogs gay, but the paper products are turning you gay.
I can't with another one of these things just because I try to keep all that stuff out of my life as much as possible through food and what I drink. And I'm just going to keep, no, all the chemicals I have to avoid in my day-to-day life because of our society and what we put in our food and stuff like that. I'm just going to keep wiping my butt with toilet paper.
Well, okay. So I have read it before that using a bidet is the preferred method for a number of reasons. I wipe with toilet paper, but I've also recently learned that a lot of people, actually, let me take this back. Do you guys shower after you poop?
What?
I guess sometimes.
I mean, if it's super messy.
But if you were just like, if we ended this call and you had to go poop and it was a normal poop, would you shower?
No, the only times I shower after I poop is when my shower is already planned and I have to poop before it.
Brad?
I mean, not as a rule, no.
Okay, neither do I, but I found out that a lot of people do shower after they poop immediately. Like once they poop, they shower.
Don't they know we're in a water crisis? Come on, guys.
I just recently found out, and when I said I didn't, somebody was like, "Well, don't like you walk around dirty," and I was like, "Well, no, I use toilet paper," and they were like, "But
hold on, toilet paper is not enough. 100% for sure, toilet paper is not enough. If I had poop on my hand and I go to shake your hand, I say,
would you have poop on your hand?
It just go with, I don't, right? I don't have poop on my hand, but let's say I did. I picked up dog poop and there's some on my hand, right? And I go, or there's a hole in the toilet paper. And I go, I say, "Oh, hey, Charles, good to meet you. My name's Brad." And I have poop on my hand. You say, "Excuse me, sir, you have poop on your hand." And I take a piece of paper and I wipe it off. Would you shake my hand?
No.
No, of course not. You need more than just paper. Get some wipes, bro.
First of all, I wash my hands after I clean myself when I poop. So,
sure, but it's still
my hand.
Butt. It's not about your hands, it's about your butt.
Second of all, I do keep wipes in my home. But third of all, if I'm out or if I had like a normal poop, I'm not necessarily wiping with additional.
Not necessarily wiping is what Charles said.
No, with additional
things. In the show.
With additional things other than just toilet paper.
Okay, well, I mean, I just think that it's kind of, it's just interesting, right? I mean, Charles and Michael use paper products, and that explains a lot. So the BPA on the receipt paper, though, that's why the receipt paper is kind of like shiny and sleek, right? So that actually, I believe that. I don't know about toilet paper. That kind of seems like, does it have BPA on it? I don't know. But whatever. I just thought that was fun. So I hope that you guys will take that to heart and stop.
Really glad you waited 3 weeks for that.
It was such a good potpourri, dude.
I know.
I mean, just, shut the fuck up. All right, Charles, Michael, do you want to bring us in with the Epstein will be heard from again?
Oh, yeah. So Megyn Kelly did Charles's favorite, Tucker Carlson, is out on tour.
He is so good.
He is good.
I will say, though, I've been listening to some of his tours, and his speeches before are actually pretty good.
Yeah. Charles has got to get over it. And he had Megyn Kelly on, who's like pretty straight-laced, I think. Like, I wouldn't consider her like down the conspiracy rabbit hole. And she had this to say about Jeffrey Epstein. Let me just.
You're starting to.
Ringing.
Oh my God! And you're like starting to get
this
chopped up.
This to say.
about Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, see that?
Oh boy,
We can
see it. We can-
for a big discount.
There are a lot of people who are still quaking in their boots, scared to death about what may come out. And I said this on my show, and I'll say it to you all too. It's not that Jeffrey Epstein's alive. I want to clarify that, at least not to my knowledge. But you will be hearing from Jeffrey Epstein, I think, at some point in the next 12 months. And I know the person who is going to bring it to you, and I've heard the thing myself. This is not BS. You'll see.
So,
I get so tired of these people.
I knew it. You're probably, let me guess, Charles, you're going to relate it to Tucker Carlson and his talk about aliens.
Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, that was it. So she just went on there. I heard her say that previously, and she's hinting at something that's going to be dropped in the next 12 months about Jeffrey Epstein. I'm assuming it's some sort of recording because she says, I don't think he's alive, not to my knowledge, but you're going to hear from him. So it's a recording, right? And what does it say?
A recording of him speaking.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe they got those tapes out of FBI dungeon that were in his penthouse in New York.
Yeah.
And it's not just speaking.
That'll be interesting. I mean, I kind of agree with Charles. I get a little bit tired of this, 2 more weeks bullshit. Just trust the plan and it's all coming together. It's going to be a surprise at some point. Who knows when? What's going to happen? It's going to happen. Keep listening to us and maybe you'll find out. But it's interesting. Charles?
Yeah, 12 months is a long time. And no one's going to remember in 10 months. And so when it never happens, if it never happens, I mean, it might. I'm sure. I'm not surprised that there's something of him on it. Because one, we know or we think that he recorded all his and other sexual escapades. And I would think for insurance purposes, he probably has a sit-down interview of him that he might have recorded himself. So I'm not surprised that something exists. But I just get so tired of this. Just wait and see. I can't talk about it now, but it's a coming. The Kraken's going to be here. It's like, all right, then just tell us when it's like 48 hours away because okay, you can't tell us who it is, what it is, where you heard it, what you heard. You just heard something. And now we just got to wait and see sometime in the next 12 months. That's 365 days. That is 365 days.
Unless it's a leap year.
We have history happening every single day. We can't even keep up with all the things happening. The news cycle is 16 seconds. So by the time, people are going to forget that she even said this. And so I just wish they would just tell us when it's imminent and not when it's 12 months away.
I can agree with that.
You guys are such poo-pooers.
Oh, I mean, I think it's cool. Go ahead.
The Epstein story is different. The attention span for it exists. Even when there's nothing happening, people are like, I wonder what's going on with the Epstein thing. When are we going to get the tapes? When are we going to get the black book or the flight logs? And then when we have things like Diddy come up, which we'll talk about, people are like, I wonder if he was connected to Epstein. So
he wasn't.
That story is, there's a lot more to tell. I don't think we're going to learn anything super informative through whatever she has seen, but I'm interested to see what it is.
Oh, you don't think so?
Nah. They buried all the really important stuff.
Well, Ghislaine Maxwell's still out there.
I'm confused because Michael, you brought up P. Diddy, and I guess we're going to talk about that. But I thought Charles was going to teach us what a freak off is.
Oh, is that where we're going now?
I guess, but I mean, just I agree with Charles on this. Like, she said this 12 months ago. She's saying it again. It's going to be in 12. Like, in 12 months, you might say it's just kind of like, all right, guys, like we all know something's up. Can you just tell us or not tell us?
Yeah, or just don't tease it. What are you teasing at 12 months? Like, you're not telling us who has it, what they have, what you heard, when it's coming. Like, just it's so vague. Just at least tell us something. Be like, guess what? I don't know, something.
You guys are such Americans. I need it now, right this instant. I have no patience. I can't wait. Gotta have it. This is a long game, guys. The UFO thing, the Epstein thing, it's being uncovered slowly, methodically. We'll get to the truth.
Okay. Well, who's doing the slow, methodical unveiling is a question.
Well, we talked about that last week.
I
think it's a cool story. I'm not poo-pooing on your story, Michael. I just wish they would just hurry up and tell us.
If you are poo-pooing, just don't use paper, please.
We
Are you
know
gonna,
the answer? Epstein is agent of intelligence, and
He's dead.
He was collecting blackmail on people, and they have a bunch of tapes which they have now destroyed, and we're never going to see them, and we're never going to know what was really going on. But we have enough information to intuit what was happening there.
So, Charles, trending topic of the week. Are you going to teach us about freak-offs, or are you going to tell us about P. Diddy?
Well, the question, the trending topic wasn't, is Charles going to teach you about freak-offs? It was, have Michael and Brad.
For me to answer the question, if I've ever freaked off, I need to know what a freak-off is.
I'm not fully sure, but
What the fuck?
For those who don't know, Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Love was arrested.
Wait, Love? I don't understand.
That's his latest name.
Love is his latest name?
Yeah.
That's dumb. That's really stupid.
Okay, go tell him that at a freak off.
I'd be happy to. Give me his email address.
pdiddy@pdiddy.com. So I don't know when it was, Monday, Sunday, I don't know. He was arrested after a long-running investigation into a number of things, from sex trafficking to drug trafficking to I don't even know what other things he was involved in. And in that came, when they raided his home a couple months ago, they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil. And he used these at his quote-unquote freak-offs, which were essentially sex parties that went on for a very long time, hours, days at times, and he would drug the people and watch them have sex and record them. Sometimes they forced them to have sex to the point of dehydration, where they would then have to take IVs to rehydrate before they left. And it's crazy. It's all alleged, but it seems legitimate.
I tweeted out that you're going to teach us what a freak-off is, and that I already don't like it. I'm glad that I said that. You should have told me that this was not. I thought this was like some sort of dance thing.
Oh, shut up!
I did not know what a freak. I thought it was going to be like have Michael and Brad, two square white dudes that were like gone out, like had a dance off.
Anyway,
that's really what I thought.
Screw you.
What the fuck?
So there's that. So now P. Diddy is being held in a correctional facility, I think in Brooklyn, and he is on suicide watch. And they are saying that there could be a lot of people. This could be a very long web of connections that are tied. It could be Epstein-like.
A freak-off is something that he invented.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought this was just something lingo that I didn't understand, like dance lingo.
Oh, was it?
I promise you, that's what I thought. A term allegedly used to describe elaborate multi-day sexual encounters meticulously planned and facilitated by Sean Diddy Combs and his associates, allegedly.
Yes. And so, again, he's been charged with everything from sex trafficking, drug trafficking, arson, this, that, the other. And they're expecting a number of other celebrities to be tied into this, because he would have these parties and they would all come to them.
Yeah, they would.
There's a long list of people who are attending the parties, but is it going to be like the Epstein thing where only Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell are charged, or is it going to be different and they're actually going to take other people down?
I think it's going to be different, because you have, with Epstein and Ghislaine, you had people speaking out, but they weren't prominent people. I think with Diddy, you have prominent people already speaking out. Who, the reason this started was for a number of reasons, but Cassie was one of the first ones to come out and say that he was assaulting her. And so you can't just kill her, right? People know who she is. She's spoken out. They settled out of court, but she was clearly an informant, I guess. And there are others who are speaking out, other bands that he created. So these are like big visible people, and there are a lot of them. And so I think it's hard to get rid of them. And allegedly part of the reason they keep denying him bail is because they are afraid of him intimidating witnesses. And so they want him to stay behind bars. They even confiscated the passport of his baby, like his 6-month-old child. They confiscated the whole family's passport.
It's kind of crazy. I said Love Jr.
Yes, Love Jr.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. It goes back to other conversations we had, and what Megyn Kelly goes on to talk about in that interview is these people in Hollywood and DC, they're sickos. The stuff they're doing, there's a bunch of weirdos out there, and they have this impression of themselves that they're bigger than God or whatever, and they can just get away with whatever they think, whatever they want to do, they can just get away with it. And this is just another instance of somebody who thinks they're larger than life, thinking they can do whatever they want and not get caught. And it sounds like Diddy got caught.
Yeah.
Sounds like Diddy got caught.
Diddy didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, Charles, no, I didn't know what a freak off was, and I never attended one.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
I mean, that's pretty fucked up. It's crazy. But, I think Michael's right. These people are into weird and wild shit. And maybe we shouldn't be looking up to them, and maybe we shouldn't be taking our cues from them about how we should act politically or just in our general lives. It turns out celebrities are actually not just like us.
No, there is a much higher concentration of pedophiles and drug addicts among politicians and Hollywood actors and musicians than the normal population.
Well,
it seems so.
I agree.
Let's talk about, I'm going to do another curveball here. And this is from Elon Musk. And there's two parts to this that I want to talk about. So this is called Blindsight by Elon Musk. Blindsight. Mm-hmm. And let's see. Let me pull this up and share screen. Boom. The Blindsight device from Neuralink will enable even those who have lost both eyes and their optic nerve to see. Provided the visual cortex is intact, it will even enable those who have been blind from birth to see for the first time. To set expectations correctly, the vision will be at first below resolution like Atari graphics, but eventually it has the potential to be better than natural vision and enable you to see in infrared, ultraviolet, and even radar wavelengths like Geordie LaForge. My question for you two goons, do you know who Geordie LaForge is?
No idea.
Anything?
Star Trek.
Geordie LaForge.
Okay.
Now, so I think it's kind of cool, right? Giving sight to the blind. Sounds like a miracle, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I would want to see in infrared, ultraviolet, and even radar wavelengths. That sounds too much. Sounds like technology is maybe going too far. Do you think that your brain would be able to handle that?
What if he could give you like eagle vision or like be able to see through walls?
I mean, X-ray vision? You sound like a real creep, Michael.
Yeah.
God.
I'm just saying, where's the logical next step? Once they're able to cure blindness, where's it going to go from there?
You and Mark Robinson wishing you had X-ray vision. No, I don't think that a human being can handle infrared, ultraviolet, and even radar wavelengths. I don't think the brain can handle it. I think that's too much. I think that you maybe like give them, perfect vision or like a little bit perfect, whatever, 15, 20, whatever that we know, give them their vision back. But I don't think the human brain is designed or evolved, however you want to think about it, to handle all that extra wavelength.
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought so are the options that or the vision like Atari? Is that what you were saying? Like what?
No, he was saying that it's going to start out low resolution like Atari graphics, which I think is,
better than no sight.
Is that better than no sight? That sounds like it might not be better than no sight. And I'm not blind. I can't speak for blind people. If there's any blind people in the chat, please let me know if I'm being a total insensitive asshole. But
you are.
I'm not. But like, think of Pong, right? It's just like a square pixels. And maybe you could see that, but also I think blind people probably, if they were born blind, they learn to adapt and live in society. And, I hope that they're happy people. There's some people that use clicks, they use echolocation, which I think is really cool. But is low resolution better than no resolution?
Yeah, I think so. Is a low resolution better TV than no TV?
Yeah.
No, I would rather have no TV than not be able to see it. Like not be able to
cracked windshield better than no windshield?
Hold on, let me ask you this question. If you're streaming Titanic as you are wont to do, and you're pausing on the painting scene as you are wont to do, and you have a bad connection and it's really blurry and it's kind of choppy or whatever, do you keep watching at that, or do you try to fix your internet?
At that moment, you try to fix your internet.
But if it doesn't get fixed, do you keep watching?
Yeah.
No, you do not. You do not stream stuff that is low resolution. I guarantee you do not. You would just walk away from the TV.
This is a terrible analogy.
It is a terrible analogy.
Because the better analogy would be somebody who has never seen TV in their entire life getting black and white TV for the first time.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And what I read,
you can see.
What I read was that the tests that they're doing on monkeys right now is in black and white, not in color, because there's so many more neurons that have to fire all at the same time in your brain to be able to see color, that they've only figured out how to do the black and white because it's a simpler process. That's what I heard.
Well, at any rate, it's a genuine miracle. I think that it's really fucking cool that he's doing this, and that's like that he's trying to solve these problems that are previously thought to be unsolved. And again, I think there's that sweet spot. Like, just give them 20. My vision's not perfect, but it's close enough. 20/20, I think, is a good sweet spot. And maybe some people want the infrared or the radar wavelengths. What does it even mean if you see radar wavelengths?
They're not going to stop at 20/20. Let's be real.
I don't know the human brain can handle more, is what I'm saying. But maybe it can. Maybe it learns and adapts. But I also want to bring this up, and I thought this was a really interesting reply. And I think this goes to the state of our politics nowadays. That's not the one I want to share. I want to share. Where is it? There it is. But here's a screenshot I took. I'm not going to tell you who it is. But I will say that, Michael, you know who she is. So this is from Doge Designer. Says, if Kamala Walls wins, their first move will be to ban X and arrest Elon Musk. Protect your right to free speech before it's too late. Vote wisely this time. Election of our lifetime, guys. Election of our lifetime. Elon Musk says, yup. I don't know. Is this true or not? Doesn't really matter for the context of this. Well, it does matter, because this was someone's response. Women are more important, Elon. You are not the first priority. Also, we've noticed you're no longer interested in getting us to Mars since you discovered there's no such thing as a sexual act of love on Mars. Back to my point, women are more important. I don't know what, it has nothing to do with the veracity of the claim. Are they going to arrest Elon Musk? Are they going to ban free speech? Who the fuck cares? Women are more important.
Y'all know that person?
Yes. I'm not going to say the person's name because it's not. I'm not trying to call people out. But
I mean, I know. I'm not asking who it is. I'm just.
Is there implication that the abortion, is that what they're talking about?
Is there ever any other implication, Michael?
So women are more important. I don't follow.
It's certainly about abortion.
Okay.
About women's rights. It's about all of that stuff. And that goes, it's about abortion. And that goes above free speech. Because this person is not challenging the notion of free speech is on the line.
Yep.
She doesn't even say anything about that. She just goes, women are more important.
Yep.
What do we do with that?
Nod and agree, I guess.
Nod and agree.
Otherwise, she might yell at us.
Ooh, good point.
Should we invite her on the podcast and ask her to explain?
I don't know what a podcast is. But
Podcast. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely gonna ban speech in some way or try to censor. Are women more important? Yes.
Yes, women are the idea of a woman.
But why would we have to choose between women and free speech?
It's not that women are gonna die if Kamala and Walls win. It's not like they all just get eradicated. It's not The Handmaid's Tale. It's not whatever dystopian, novel you want to relate it to, whatever poor analogy you want to make. It's just about abortion. Now, people can be all for abortion, but I would think that, free speech is a little bit more important. You guys are on fire today.
You think that free speech is more important than abortion? I agree.
Yes, but the broader point is what do we do with this? It seems like you cannot.
What is your question? What do you mean? What do
no
we do with this? What does that mean?
With people who think like that?
Yeah, what do you do with people who think like that? What's going to happen to our country?
I don't know. She's your friend.
Howard, I wouldn't say that, but I don't know what we're supposed to do as a country if this is the response, right? Hey, we're going to take away your free speech rights. Well, are you going to give us abortion?
We fight, we argue, we shout those ideas down and make them recognize that free speech is paramount.
Well, use it while you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what to do about those people. They voted for Joe Biden, and how many people voted for him? 81 million, apparently. And then a lot of them are going to vote for Kamala Harris. I don't know what to do about a group of people who are so propagandized that they can't see the world clearly. I don't know what to do about that, other than try to persuade them that they're not propagandized, but that doesn't work. So I don't know what to do.
I don't know. I think it's a bad sign is what I'm saying. That's why I bring it up. I think I was kind of blown away by that.
I'm blown away too.
You're trying to find it?
I would say probably a lot of people believe that.
Probably that's the thing. This is not a unique situation. I don't think that's the point that I'm making. And I think that's a bad sign. We should all, maybe this is the election of our lifetimes after all, the most important ever. All right, let's talk about Butch Ware. Yeah.
Butch Ware.
Love you guys. You guys are, again, when I say you're on fire,
Let's
I mean
go.
Let's go. I'm sorry, I don't know who Butch Ware is.
You're about to learn. Butch Ware is the vice presidential candidate for the Green Party. Is that right, Michael?
The man, Butch Ware.
And he posted this video, and I don't know if he counts calories or not, but maybe he does. Let's see. Probably not.
All right, so this is a message for the Trump supporters. Are y'all tired of being called racists? Because I would be. I know that Trump is a racist, and there's a lot of white supremacists that side with that party, but I don't believe by a long shot that most of you guys are racist. But I think if you guys realize that there's no moral difference between crooked Democrats and crooked Republicans, and all other things being equal, you'd rather pay less in taxes. What if I told you Dr. Jill Stein and I can cut your personal income taxes and your small business taxes with 2 simple steps? By making the wealthiest corporations pay their share and breaking up the monopolies so that your small business can compete better and then you can pay a lower tax rate because they're paying their share. And we stop taking money out of your personal income taxes, taking money out of your pocket and handing it to Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, and Boeing to blow people up in their sleep in other countries. Stop sending American kids to go die in foreign wars for gas and for oil. And with $1 trillion a year we save, we can cut your personal income taxes. Does that sound pretty good to you guys? Because it sounds damn good to me as a small business owner. I'm tired of Uncle Sam taking the cut off the top to go murder other people's kids. I know that you go over there on Team Red are only there because it's good for your bottom line. Leave Trump behind. Rock with the Green Party.
Was he cooking in the background?
Was he
and
cooking?
Why is he doing, yeah, what was all that?
He's doing curls of 25 pounds, which is pathetic.
But
it's weird as he was doing a mixture of hammer curls and bicep curls. And if you only do 25, if you do a 25 regular bicep curl, you should definitely be able to do at least a 35-40 hammer.
Well, I think that he was. It looked like, and I don't know, but it looked like he was maybe at the end of his workout. He looked like he had a good pump. Maybe he took some NOS beforehand. You guys are into supplements. You know what NOS is. But it sounded like, hey, was he making sense?
To me, it sounded like he was just yapping.
Oh yeah, no. But
what? I don't know, Charles. You think he's just yapping?
Yes.
Here's why I like Butch Ware.
Ooh, hell yeah!
I want to pull up another clip. I listened to his Breakfast Club interview. He's a real
he was
liberal.
on the Breakfast Club.
Ooh, now Charles is interested.
Yeah. Okay, I'll play it.
Lame.
He's a real liberal. Like he's what they. He's like honest.
He's the vice president. He's vice president.
Hold on.
You're not pulling up the clip. I'm going to talk. I'm going to fill the gap. All right. Calm down. He's a vice presidential candidate for the Green Party. He's not like he doesn't care really about your freedom.
just the way that I had gotten used to pronouncing the name because it resembles a name that is used in West Africa.
But you understand the point of getting it right, though. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to. As the brother on the team with the other, you gotta.
Absolutely. I will not make that mistake again. I'm begging.
I love seeing black men get jumped by black women.
No, hold on.
It's not me.
Listen.
Baby, the way my edges just looked up.
It's triggering.
I don't understand. What did I just watch? What did he get Kamala's name wrong?
Yeah, that's not the clip I wanted. He goes on the podcast and he says that they're using Kamala's race, blackness, to get people to just vote for her because she's black, and he calls it out like it is, and that her policies don't support black people in America. That's what he's saying in that podcast. You have to go back and watch it. And they're using her blackness to get black people to vote for her, although she's not delivering anything for black people, which is what he says. Here's why I like him, because he's honest. He's an actual liberal, not these fake liberals that we see in the Democratic Party. He goes on later in that podcast to call AOC Pelosi.
Good.
Which is funny. And a lot of the criticisms that he's leveling are true.
Yeah.
He talks about the military industrial complex, forever wars, the corruption in the political system, all that stuff I'm down with. It's their prescriptions where they lose me, which is what your criticism of him was. But I've always had an affinity for people who come out of the radical black, like the radical black philosophy. What do they call like James Baldwin, Cornel West, or radical black tradition? James Baldwin, Malcolm X, because they'll call people in power. They'll tell the truth about people in power.
Well, it's like that's like me, right?
Are you radical black tradition?
Are you questioning my blackness? Or
no, I'm not questioning your. I'm not questioning your blackness.
I'm kidding.
I'm saying there's two strains. There's not two strains. There's like the people who subscribe. There's people who subscribe to the Martin Luther King philosophy of politics and through nonviolence and resistance through nonviolence. What are you doing?
Yeah, what happened?
Sorry, I was looking for I have James Baldwin over here. I was gonna get it, but it's okay. Go ahead.
And then there's the Malcolm X strain, the James Baldwin strain, where Cornel West comes from, who are like, fuck that. We're going to call these people out and we're going to say it like it really is. And I appreciate that. Cornel West got on the stage in 2012 and called Barack Obama who he was. It's one of my favorite clips of all time. He's like, nobody dropped more bombs on brown people than Barack Obama did. He dropped more bombs than George W. Bush. And I appreciate the honesty about the left that comes from people who ascribe to that worldview. And that's why I like Butch Ware.
Well, thanks. Yeah, for those of us that come out of that school. I mean, listen, I get it. I think I'm a mixture of both. I do ascribe more to this is a conversation for another day, but anyway. Yeah.
Charles, it's Michael didn't pull up the clip, obviously, but he described it to us. He's talking about how they're using Kamala's blackness to get the black people to vote for her, and also plenty of other people. Like it's the first. There's a lot of joy, the joy that they feel in voting for the first black female candidate for president. But everyone knows that she's half Jamaican, half Indian, and which side does she identify with? I don't know, and I just have to ask you, Charles, would it affirm her blackness if she used the N-word?
No, but this clip is about to get you canceled.
Why?
Because they're going to find this and they're going to come for you. And no matter what I say, I'm not going to be able to save you.
If she used the N-word, would that be like, all right, yeah, she's black. She can say it.
No, her being black is what makes her black.
But she's also half Indian. So why does it why? I don't understand. You roll your eyes, but it's like, that's a genuine question.
If you saw her in the supermarket, you would not think, oh, look at this half black, half Indian woman. She's a black woman in America.
I don't see race. So.
She's a black woman in America.
I'm not saying that she's not.
I know you're not saying that she's not.
But people question it.
I know.
That seems like a test, right? If she said it, then she definitely is. And if there's no backlash.
She went to what, Spelman, I think. I'm sure she said it at one point. I'm sure she said it many times. She probably still says it in her house. I mean,
when was the last time you said it?
Like yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, I haven't talked to anybody black today, so I haven't said it. But yesterday.
Now, if Michael said that, I haven't talked to anybody black today, don't you think you'd be a little upset?
If he said he didn't talk to anybody black today, no.
I mean,
it's a fact. Michael, you talked to a black person.
I think it would be evidence. I think it would be evidence of his racism.
No.
Well, I've talked to you, Charles, but I also talked to Alice this morning. So
See, so he's talking to 2 black people today. How many people have you talked to, Brad?
How many people have I talked to? A lot.
Black people.
I think like this many.
Oh, must be.
You count as a lot in my life. In my life, you count as more than just one person, Charles. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I think that's it for today, guys. That's 1 hour, almost on the dot.
Felt like 7.
Oh, that's interesting. Why? So, yeah. All right. Well, any final parting words?
Make sure you tune in 2 weeks from today for our 1-year anniversary of the BCM podcast, because today is episode 50, which means in 2 weeks it'll be episode 52, which is 1 year.
dang. And we're having a guest next week, yeah?
I don't know. We have not. You guys have not confirmed jack all, so we'll see. But we'll talk about that off air. Fellas, I appreciate you taking the time. It was a real joy, as it is on every Friday. I look forward to this day, this hour, every week from the moment the show ends. All of the links will be down in the description below. Please follow us, subscribe, tell your friends. Miss Blain, you're still our favorite. We love you. Thank you so much for listening. Share it with everybody.
Stay in school. Stay and get an